Hey there YouTube, it's me for Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the first of this month's Korean toy reviews. Right, today I've got another figure from the Metal Cardbot S toy line. And the figure I've got to review for you today is none other than Deep Bite. And he's one of the characters that gets introduced towards the mid part of the season. He's based on a sort of like a submarine. His alt mode is a shark themed submarine, and he's a robot mode. He kind of looks like a large sort of robotic diver. He's got a very specific theming involved. Now, having got this figure and messed with it, unfortunately I can say that it does have two unfortunate design flaws on it, which detract slightly from its overall sort of features. I will get into those through the course of this review, obviously. Right, so without that said, let's get started on the review, shall we? Right, so start off with, here's the box. Typical Metal Cardbot S box. As you can see, it's a very thick, chunky box made out of heavy cardstock. It's got a window, a plastic clamshell inside. It's got his name across the bottom. It's got Jun, the protagonist kid, down the side. Lots of sort of crystal-y things around the top, and then pictures of his robot mode and his alt mode, and then it's got more pictures of him on the side, pictures of him on the back, again pictures on the side, and product information on the bottom. That's all you can say about it. Just a typical Metal Cardbot box. Does come with a set of instructions, as you can see. Very clear. As with all, the majority of Korean toys, very easy to work out, very intuitive. Don't really need much to go on. Has got his metal card with his name, Deep Bite, and his card weapon on the back. And here he is in his alt mode. Now, I did my unboxing video. Was it last week? Where I showed you the unboxing on the two Korean toys that I bought this month, including this guy and one other, who will be reviewed next week. And I had a couple of commenters, including Mr. KR Brickbot, and he commented that apparently this guy's a very hot property in South Korea at the moment. He's selling out everywhere. I was, out of the Metal Cardbot figures I decided to get this month, I had a choice of three. It was this guy, Rock Crush, and Sky Gallop. I decided to go for Sky Gallop instead of Rock Crush because Sky Gallop's a new release and it's a very impressive looking figure and I wanted to get it. So I sort of skipped over Rock Crush, who I will hopefully be getting next month, but decided to go with this guy, Mr. Deep Bite. And as you can see, his alt mode is a submarine, which has got shark theming. He's got like a shark snout at the front. He's got like a conning tower that looks a bit like a dorsal fin, and then he's got a shark fin on the back, and he's got petrol fins on the side. So pretty cool looking thing. It's quite heavy, nice and solid. Very cool looking thing. It's got large sort of thrusters on the back. It's got weapon storage. His gun does plug in underneath. Unfortunately, the card weapon doesn't it does not plug into his alt mode anywhere. It's just plugged onto the back of the card, as they do with other Metal Cardbot figures. But yeah, it's a pretty cool figure. Now, like I said, this figure does come with two unfortunate design flaws, and one of them is in the alt mode. Now, because he's a shark theme, he's got a shark snout with a jaw, but unfortunately, the jaw doesn't actually open. It's sort of screwed shut. That is one of those. It's a boneheaded designs, decision on behalf of the toy designers, or a major oversight. The fact that in his alt mode he doesn't have an opening jaw on these on his sort of shark mode. Now, when you have a closer look at it, you can see there is plenty of clearance behind the jaw, So I mean, this is all part of his transformation, but there's plenty of room behind the jaw for it to. They could have put a hinge in there, and it could have hinged open. And there's plenty of room for them to have put a mechanism in there to allow them to do it. Unfortunately, they overlooked it, and yeah, it does detract slightly from his alt mode, because in the show, obviously, he's a shark submarine, and he has a chompy jaw on the front, and he takes bites out of some of the other characters, most notably Red Blitz's arse, and he takes great offence at this because he has beef with him when after he gets sealed by Jun, and it's quite funny. But anyway, so yeah, that's one of the major problems this figure has got. He hasn't got an opening jaw in his alt mode on his shark snout. So there we go. Right, not much more I can say about the alt mode really. Only it's a blue submarine. And yeah, so let's get on with stuff, shall we? Right, so transformation. Again, transformation pretty straightforward. Though I've only done it once or twice, I will probably fumble through this because the order of operation on this thing, I haven't quite got it down yet. But anyway, so start off with start unplugging bits underneath. Now the gun does plug in underneath, so you separate these bits and then you can unplug his gun, put that off to one side. There's these pieces, these side pieces, which come down and plug in like so. Then you can separate the legs. Push in the conning tower, bring your sort of tail out toward the back. Then the arms unclip and start bringing them out to the side. These pieces fold back, then the shoulders come out to the side. Extend the legs. The fists slide out like so. Then this piece, the chest piece, folds forward, and then the shark snout folds down, and then this piece twizzles round and then folds down the back. And just bring out his feet. And there we're done. Oh yeah, you can also fold these fins forward over his cuffs, and there we go. There is Deep Bite in his robot mode, and he does look pretty cool actually. Oh yeah. Oh, actually, I've forgotten something. The shoulders. That's right, these bits fold forwards. That's it. And then you flatten those. That's better. Right, I've got it now. Yeah, so now here we are in his robot mode. And he's a very, very cool looking bot. As you can see, obviously he's got the shark thing sort of hanging out the back. Pretty cool. colours, obviously the shark mode is mostly the dark blue, but here we've got some other colours that have come to the fore. You've got the dark blue, obviously, but then you've got the white. You've got some hints of yellow, some sort of yellow bits around, and also some nice hints of sort of teal blue on his cuffs, on his helmet, on his waist packs, and his shin pieces. That's pretty cool. I do like the robot mode design on this. He looks really, really cool in robot mode. Articulation. Well, actually, no. Before we go into that, the aesthetic in his robot mode, it's especially when you look at his head sculpt, it's like a diver helmet, and he's got like like goggles or a face mask over his face. And it kind of reminds me of, what is it, Hunt for the Decepticons Sea Spray? Because he had a very sort of like diver-themed sort of robot mode. And this guy, he sort of carries that off as well. So he does kind of remind me in some respects, the way the guy, this looks, the way the way this guy looks compared to, how, Hunt for the Decepticons Sea Spray looked like. But, yeah. So there's his robot mode. Articulation, his head is on a ball joint, goes all the way round. It's got a good range of motion side to side, a bit of forwards and backwards, and it goes all the way around. Arms, they go out that far, go all the way round. Nice deep elbow bend, bicep swivel. Has got a little bit of a bend in for the fists. No waist joint, unfortunately. Hips go forwards, goes back. Slightly hampered thigh swivel, knee bend, and then he's got a little bit of an ankle tilt, only a little bit of one. So there we go. Yeah, not the most articulated thing, but he's got all the usual joints. He's got bicep swivels and thigh swivels. Hasn't got a waist joint, unfortunately, but he's not too bad otherwise. Now, the other deadly flaw or unfortunate design flaw that this guy's got involves his card weapon. So you look at this guy and he's like a pretty cool looking bot, reasonably articulated, yada yada yada. But he is a Metal Cardbot figure and he does have a card weapon. So, he also has his gun as well. So it has a peg that folds out. It's got like this big yellow blade on the front. No articulation otherwise. It's reasonably painted and moulded. And you can hold it in either hand quite effectively. So that's that. But he does have his card weapon. So as with other Metal Cardbot figures, you've got the metal card itself, which has got a picture of the figure and the guy's name in English. And then behind it is his card weapon. Now, in season 1, the metal cards were like a thin, transparent plastic sandwich that slotted in onto the back of the card weapon, and they usually formed some chest armor upgrade or some sort of other weapon that they could wield when they got the power up in the show and was doing the fights. In season 2 or Metal Cardbot S, the card weapons are a lot more involved. They're a lot bigger, they're a lot chunkier, they're made out of opaque plastic rather than transparent plastic, and there's a lot more to them. This guy's card weapon is a little bit more modest, but it still forms a rather impressive weapon. So, bit of parts forming actually. You've got to take this piece off and put that off to one side. Then you separate the card weapon from the card, and then you gradually fold it out. So and then you get this thing, and then you stick it in the end. And then also, there we go. And there's also a little bit that sticks up on there. So you end up with this massive great trident weapon. So now, here is the second fatal design flaw on this figure. It has a handle, which you can see there, but it does not plug into his hand. The peg is too big. So it does, however, plug into these slots on his waist. So he's got these two slots on his waist, and it plugs in there like so. So he can hold it like that, which is all well and good, but surely tridents are usually, you know, they're weapons that are held in the hand, and it would have been nice if he'd have had a ways and a means to hold his trident in his hand, but he can't because he doesn't have the means to do it. The peg that he's supposed to, you know, attach is too big to go in his hand. It won't fit in his hand at all. So that's another design flaw that this figure has, along with the shark, you know, mouth that doesn't open in alt mode. You now got the his card weapon. He can't actually hold it in his hand because it doesn't have a peg to hold it. Instead it plugs into his waist, which is a bit weird. Yeah. So yeah, it plugs in that side. It's ambidextrous. It will plug in both sides. Like so. But it's unfortunate that he can't actually hold it in his hand. So there we go. It's an interesting weapon. It's, you know, it's a trident. It's a big trident staff. So yeah, it's very appropriate considering he's an aquatic themed, you know, Metal Cardbot. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, just unfortunate that he can't actually wield it in his hand. So there we go. He can actually have both weapons at the same time. You put the trident in one side, and then you put his gun in the other, and then he's tooled up to do battle with whoever. So there we go. There is my review of Metal Cardbot Deep Bite. He's all right. He's a decent figure. Looks good in robot mode. Has some annoying faults or flaws, in my opinion. Two of them, in fact. Two unfortunate design features that you know, it would have been nice if the designers had looked around them and done them slightly differently to how they did. But whatever, it is what it is. So there we go. That's been my review of this figure, Metal Cardbot S Deep Bite. He's a pretty cool figure, and there we go. That's been my Korean toy review for today. I'll be doing another one next week, so hopefully you'll look forward to that. With that said, I've been TFI Wilderness. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.